Hello and welcome back. Today I want to take this, it's a solar, I guess, garden ornament that I got from my mother-in-law like probably, I don't know, 10 to 13 years ago, maybe even more than that. And yeah, it's just gotten very sun faded because it's been outside for all of these years, and looks like there's a bit of a crack on the little cheek there. Yeah, so I want to repaint this to give it some new life again. The solar aspect of it does not work anymore, so I'm not sure. I suppose I could put some air dry clay in there. That might just delay my project a little bit because I didn't think about that. But yeah, I'm not sure. I'm hoping that how I can paint it will improve the look because of how faded it is. But I'm not super confident. I'm a little worried about ruining it. But yeah, we're going to give it a try. Well, I guess I have to first decide if I want to put air dry clay here. And you know what? I think I might actually. Just to cover up the solar panel since it doesn't work. I think I might. I'm going to do that. And then I'll have to wait like the 24 hours and then we'll come back and gesso the whole thing. So yeah, see you in a second. Okay, so what I have done here is I have put 2 layers of clay on here because the first time it really cracked, so I had to do a second layer of glue, and then it cracked still, but I didn't think another layer of clay would do it, so I actually, on the outside, I have put fabric glue. The only reason I chose fabric glue was because it's really old and I don't really use fabric glue, so it was a good way to use it. So I thought that would seal up all of the cracks, and it looks like it's done a really good job. So now finally we get to start on some painting. For the first step, it'll just be gessoing the whole thing. So it'll all end up white by the end of it, but it's kind of where you need to start off when you're painting over an existing piece, just to, you know, get yourself a good base. So let's see what we can do. And honestly, I don't know about you guys, but this is one of the most satisfying parts of the process to me, just painting the base white coat. I don't know, it's like just getting ready for a fresh new start, you know? I don't know, something really satisfying about that. So, and I think this back part actually is going to end up turning out well. So I'm also happy about that. Usually when I paint on rough surfaces, I have a different paintbrush that I like to use for that. Not one of my nicer ones, but I can't find that brush right now. If you guys have like art space in your house, do you, here's my question, do you lose your paintbrush? I don't think I've ever just lost a paintbrush. Like, where is it? Like, and it's a big one too. I don't know where it is. Also though, my room is a pigsty. I need to do some massive cleaning in this room. Yep. But it's nice to be able to get back to some artsy projects. I mean, for this piece, all the colors, the manufacturer colors have faded so much that it's probably not a huge deal to gesso everything, because like I will be doing a lot of similar colors anyway, because I'm going to paint this with realistic colors. I'm not going to do anything like weird or anything. Let me know in the comments. Would you have painted this into weird colors, or would you paint it normal colors? Well, let me know. I'm going to start with the trunk. The tree itself I think will be easier to do first, And then once I have the tree completely how I like it, then I will work on the squirrels and the bird and the leaves. So we're gonna work on just the brown tones in the tree first. So I've gathered some colors that I'm going to be dipping from. I've got the same brush that I used to gesso because it is a firm brush, so it's very nice to get into all these cracks. And I want to make sure that my base layer is the darkest, because as I build up layers, it's going to get less and less in the cracks, and I want the cracks to be the darkest so that it looks more like a shadow, like a real tree would look. So we are going to first just grab some color and see what we think looks good. That's kind of how I approach my paintings. I'm not very educated in terms of like color theory, so I just kind of wing it when I do this. So maybe I'll start at the back to get the kind of tone that I want to get. So, and I am going to be making it not a flat color. I'm going to be making, like, maybe I'll make this patch a little bit darker than this patch, or a little bit more red here, a little bit more blue here, you know, just to kind of make it look like it's a bit more realistic, like it's reflecting light in certain areas, and, you know, a little bit more realistic. And so I'm not going to be too concerned if I'm like getting color where I don't want color, because this is the first layer, and so I want this dark color in all of the cracks, and I can always go over it when I want to go lighter. So that's why I'm not too concerned. Now that our base layer of the really dark tone is completed, we can move on to the medium tone. For this medium tone layer, I want to mix up some of the lighter browns together. Okay, and now we're just going to go through everything once more, but this time instead of like doing the jabbing motion, we're going to get our brush a little bit drier, and we're just going to do sweeping motions. And I'm not going to focus too much on the inner holes, I guess, because they should be quite dark, because even if the bark wasn't dark, the shadows would make it quite dark. So I'm just going to carry on with this technique. So our tree is, for the most part, done. I might do some more highlights at the end, but for now I think it's done. I want to work on the squirrels and the greenery. So I've picked out some brown tones and some green tones, and we're going to start working on that. These 3 smaller brushes, I think that will be good. These are kind of in bad shape, but the texture of this kind of needs bristles that go everywhere. So that is why I've chosen to use these ones. And so I think that should work out pretty good. So we're going to go ahead and start with the green. And again, we're going to do the same thing that we did with the bark. We're going to start with a really deep, deep, deep green, and then work our way lighter as we get more to the outside blades of grass, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm going to do first. I've got the base green layer done, and so now I'm just going to start working on lightening up each layer as I get to the more surface layer. Alright, I got the greens all painted up, a few different shades. These ended up kind of turning out a bit like hostas, which I'm fine with. It's not really accurate to where they grow, but whatever, I'm fine with that. And I did the little leaves in a little bit of a lighter green. So yeah, now we can get into the brown tan squirrels. Well, I've got the squirrels all painted. Unfortunately, they're camouflaging right into the bark. I'm not really sure how to change that because I don't want them all to be gray I kind of want them all to be different colors. So hopefully the final details of like the eyes and any highlights, hopefully that will separate them enough. But now we're gonna work on the bird, and then there are some little flowers in here that we will also work on. So that's where we're gonna add the color. So I'm gonna pick a bird that has some color, and then the flowers to have some color, and then I'll check back with you. Here is the finished final piece. I'm quite happy with it, even though I do feel like the squirrels are a bit camouflaged in the bark. I do still quite like the way that it turned out. It turned out quite natural, and I even added a little element. The center of the flowers are dabbed with a glow-in-the-dark paint, so they'll glow in the dark. But I will show this to you actually in my garden after I spray coat it with a sealant. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let me know what you think of this final repaint job. And yeah, let me know if you've been repainting anything in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye! So it's really something how things work out sometimes. I had started this project in May of 2022, and this was actually a gift from my mother-in-law from many years ago, and she ended up getting sick in August of 2022 and passing away this May, so May of 2023. So I actually started this project in May of 2022, and she passed away exactly a year later. So this is kind of a bittersweet little memento, I guess, of my mother-in-law's sweet, giving heart and how much she loved nature.